The original concept for the album was a dual album with us and one of our two-piece Americana band friends. We were going to do some of their songs, some of ours, and we had got through the first bit of recording, and then it kind of fell apart, wasn't going to work, and it was going to be kind of like a Southern Gothic story thing, starting with the single Mama's in the Backstreet.
What Jack does is borderline wizardry. The song comes along, and I remember sitting there, just starting to bounce around. I'm like, my God, what a great song. This makes me want to hop in the car and take the top down and go driving around. Goodness gracious, that's a real toe tapper, isn't it? And on the third listen through, I started to follow the lyrics, and suddenly I'm like, holy hell, this is a song about drug addiction and death. This is a song about a mother with children and a family who's waiting for her at home, and she's out trying to score another hit. Holy shit. And the whole thing is wrapped up in what superficially sounds like just a bright, happy, bouncy, party song.
I really reject the idea that a person has to suffer to create great art. I think art's really just a reflection of the artist's experience, and it could be anything. It could be joy or happiness or any of those positive emotions. And I think the reason maybe that art that comes from suffering is so popular, I think maybe it's because that's what the audience needs. Maybe that's what they've experienced. Maybe that's what they can relate to, is pain and suffering.
Well, I think it would be difficult to even begin to discuss the themes of the album without discussing Jack, the man who made the album. Because as far as I can discern, the whole thing is deeply, deeply personal, whether it started out that way or not. What Jack did with this song, he combined them in a way that is just absolute artistry. This song, the way that he combined these elements that in no way would belong together in any other format, is so natural and so perfect that you sit back and you're like, well, of course he did. And not many people can do that.
Sometimes life imitates art. When we did Don't Lose Your Heart Out There, I got out of jail the day it came out, that morning. Shortly after we did I Remember Our Home, I was homeless for a little while. This one definitely had themes of death and separation, divorce. I guess death came to us. I didn't write Mama's in the Backstreet as some sort of prophecy. She seemed like she was going down an inevitable path, and so after I'd written it, we ended up losing her after the recording was finished. That was real tough. And then we lost our good friend Hunter White, a brilliant drummer, while we were recording at the library. And then we lost Ruby days before the release.
The subtlety that he brings to the music that he writes in general, and to this album in particular, and most especially that song, is just, it's ethereal. But it's the difference between a guy flipping burgers and a master chef who can take whatever ingredients are thrown in front of him and create a gourmet meal instantly. Jack's just a master chef. He's a master musician.
But through this whole process, I've learned to see death not as a separation, but as a transition.
Mama's in the Backstreet is a story about the opium crisis in our country, and not just what it does to the drug addict, but to the families involved, because it puts an extra weight on everybody's shoulders. The whole family carries it and suffers in their own way. And I wanted to write this because a lot of the people that end up suffering and dying are good people, and they just, start with, a simple medical issue, and a medical doctor prescribes them a very dangerous drug, and a lot of those people never come back. And they're trying to do what their doctor tells them to do, and then they fall into a real bad place. And most people, once you're in that place, most people don't care how you got there and why. So I didn't want it to be a judgment against addicts or their families, but just a tale about what families experience when someone, in this case the mother, is an addict, and the things the whole family suffers. And so that's kind of was my concept for the song. Mama's in the Backstreet. She ain't been on my room. When I'm away, I can't stop getting out of here. We were really lucky when the band bailed to get to replace them with some really talented people. We needed banjo and guitar and these vocals, so I called Randy Steele, and he agreed to come do the banjo, and then we had Mike Crowder do some of the guitars, so we had Haley Graham back to do the vocals, and that ended up being the single Mama's in the Backstreet. Now, just hold on, little baby. Ooh, baby's got a sweet tooth now. Just hold on, little baby. Ooh, baby's got a sweet tooth now. Just hold on, little baby.
It's always a good time to get back into the studio with these guys. We push ourselves to keep writing, so that's always a fun thing to do.
Loving everything we did on this new album. It's got some great songs. I think you guys are going to be really happy with it, and we're really proud of what we did.
This is the first Endelouz album that I've engineered since the Keith Crispin Endelouz album. I have produced the others, but this is the first one that I was very hands-on, plugging in mics and doing all that stuff. I had a lot of help from Brett Nolan in the beginning, and then even more help from Charles Allison, and a lot of sage advice from him. So I absolutely couldn't have made this record without Charles' input. It's different to be both the person performing and doing the recording, so I had a whole lot on my plate. Got to plug all the stuff in, and the mechanics and the science of the sounds. And then in your left brain, you're like, I got to give the best performance, but you're just, in your headphones, you're still listening to the engineering that you're doing. So it was a whole lot of work like that. In the end, I'm really happy with it, and it didn't destroy me like I thought it would do.
If I could grab her and squeeze her, she know how much you need her, please her. If I could grab her and hold her tight, never let her spend another lonely night. I got to get her back again, to get her back to holding me. If I could look her in the face, I'd tell her what a waste it is to keep this place without her. I'm all about her. She used to be mine. She used to always find a way to make me shine. If If I could tell her so, I'd let her know I wanna watch her little children grow. I got to get her back again, to get her back to holding me. If I could look her in the face, I'd tell her what a waste it is to keep this place without her. I'm all about her. If I could grab her and squeeze her, she know how much I need her, please her. She used to be mine. She used to always find a way to make me shine. I got to get her back again, to get her back to holding me. If I could look her in the face, I'd tell her what a waste it is to keep this place without her. I'm all about her. Can't live without her. I'm all about her. Can't live without her.